How is it going? Welcome back to the hashtag Lockboss Show and Giveaway. My name is PJ, and I tell you what, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to be talking about some new automotive lookalike shells that are going to be out soon. We're going to be talking about the comments of the week, the posts of the week, and of course, most certainly, we're going to be announcing this week's 5 lucky Lockboss winners. How are all of you doing on this lovely Tuesday afternoon / evening, depending on where you're at? I tell you what, it is, according to my computer, it is 98 degrees outside up here in the Coeur d'Alene, Idaho area. And that's hot, by the way. That's hot. So I've been running my sprinklers at my house like a madman, trying to make sure I don't have grass that dies. But I don't know how successful I will be at that. But I just want to take a minute and thank everybody tuning in and joining us this evening. And let me sift through the comments here. Let's see here. James says, we will miss you at PJ's Tar and Feathering. I like it, James. You know, hey, why not? Let's see here. Perfect. All right. Well, hey, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the show, have a little bit of fun. And let's do it. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Oh, Doug Kimber says, hey, what's up? Says, you think that is hot? Wait till Vegas, 120 degrees. That is crazy hot. Crazy hot. All right, posts of the week. The first one comes from ITS Lock and Key. Says, thank you so much for the awesome gear. Thank you for all that you do for the Lockboss community. I can't wait to put the PJ sticker on my van. Oh, have mercy. I can't believe we still have some of those around. Those things need to go. But hey, ITS Lock and Key, thank you so much for participating and for contributing. And I'm really glad that you liked all of your prizes. This one next up here comes from Cam Locksmith, Carlos M. Carlos, how's it going, sir? He says, just received my items for from the $500 gift I won. Thank you sincerely. I like it. Yeah, see lots and lots of lock pins there. See some lock caddy stuff. Let's see what else I see here. It's like some capping, a capping block for IC core, some ABIS padlocks. What's that? Oh yeah, okay. IC capping block. I see. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Good stuff. Of course, the Mott's fruit snacks. And one of the things I love most is a little further up in the picture on the lab pinning kit, you see the Lockboss sticker. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So thanks for that. All right. Next up is the comment of the week. This one comes from Pyro Lock, aka Ken Nixon. How's it going, Ken? He says, shimming is an essential Lockboss skill, which is more difficult with spool driver top pins and even harder with serrated or T-pins. That's the truth. I highly recommend practicing shimming with spool pins so you can know if or not you're hung up on a spool pin. Ken, that is absolute excellent advice. And man, you know what? This is just one of those things that for me goes to show, you know, I mean, yes, we might be the ones here at CLK putting out the videos, but this is the deal. Like, I'm not a person that knows everything. And so many of you know so much information. And this is just a great example of Ken, Pyro Lock, adding value into the chat below or the comments below, talking about the difficulties of the spools and the serrated and suggesting that you practice with them so you know what you're up against. And Ken, that's just excellent advice. And thank you to you, Ken, and so many others in the community that contribute, right? That really take the video that we put out, and where so much of the value comes from is from the comments that you all leave. So thank you so much for that. That's really good. And Ken, I would gather that there's probably going to be some people based off your comment who have watched it who are like, you know what? I just learned how to shim a lock, and they see your comment and they're going to try it. Right. And the cool part may be they're even more of a beginner and they don't really know what those are yet. Well, now they're going to be researching what's a spool and what's a serrated pin, and they're going to learn that way as well. So all around, very cool. And Ken, love it. Thank you for sharing. You know, and the cool part is also, by the way, with that comment on that video about the shimming, you know, and when the question came in, right, my first thought was like, man, I've done a couple of videos on that. And then as I was saying in the video, like when you really start thinking through, I'm like, okay, so I've really went over the technique, but a couple of times, but I haven't really done a great job explaining of why you would use it. Right. And I think sometimes for people like myself who've been in the industry long enough to where you just kind of take some of those things for granted. Right. And I really appreciated that comment because it gave me an opportunity to kind of round those edges a little bit and kind of go through it. It's kind of fun. You know, I made on my whiteboard right over here, I really kind of made the list. I'm like, okay, why would you and why wouldn't you shim, right? And to kind of thinking through that, it was kind of fun to do because, you know, I haven't really sat down and thought through that very much. So pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that's what we got, going on with that, Ken. Thank you once again. Okay, so new key shells from Ilco. Now, before I do, let me see. I keep seeing some comments about identikey, and I have no idea what you're even talking about. I've never even heard of such a thing. You know, maybe if you tell me what it is, I might be able to help you know. Maybe I can learn something, actually. No, I'm joking. I'm joking with you. Come on now. Come on. But no, it's funny. You know, before this, I went over to the sales team and was like, hey, would one of you guys want to go on live tonight since identikey is not in the App Store yet? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, well, how about this? How about we just go around and I ask, if you say no, if you won't go on live and do the show tonight, then you're fired. And immediately, as soon as I just said that, before I started asking people, everyone started packing their stuff. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Okay, I'll do it. No, I'm just messing with you. But okay, so let's talk about identikey here in a minute. I'll talk about it. Actually, here, let's finish. Let's go over the show stuff here, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, I don't want to get it too messed up here. All right. Because I have some good updates for you on that. All right. So here we go. So recently, actually, just last week, Ilco announced a bunch of new shells that have come out. Okay? And we're going to kind of walk through these together a little bit. I think really the couple cool things with this. Sometimes customers think they have a key that's messed up. And really their case is just jacked, right? They don't need a whole new key. They just need a case. Or other times, maybe you make some sort of a boo-boo or you drop it and it gets all scuffed up or something, and you want to be able to just fix it without buying a whole new one, right? This can be really popular with remote head keys in particular because, you know, the old keys, you know, you turn them and, you know, it provides wear on them. Flip keys as well. I've definitely seen my fair share of weird things happen with essentially trying to replace the blades on the flip keys that is not using the right stuff, which then in turn junks it. And so to be able to have be able to get it back up or something like that would be a really good option. So, and probably my favorite part about this with these shells that we're going to go over here, and they're from Ilco, right? And so for me, being able to get the shells from Ilco is pretty important to me because like we know there's levels of quality control. Now I know some people are like, oh, I don't like Ilco keys, what have you, I can respect that. But for me, when it comes to that, it's good. But the one thing that I do get a little concerned about with like something like a shell is the price. And so when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, what is this going to entail? And I was very, very surprised about how nice their pricing is. Okay. So we actually just loaded the SKUs into our system today. And I mean, a lot of them are $3. Okay. So a lot of the replacements are $3. There's few up to, I think the most expensive is 12, but a lot of them are in the 3 to 6-ish range. But I would say the majority when I was looking at it was actually $3. So really, really happy about that. That's going to leave a lot of margin for you, which I think is really important as well, because, there's labor that goes in with taking it out, putting it back in and, getting everything set up right. So, yeah, it'll be good stuff. Then of course, once we get them linked up, once we get them put on the website, we'll also link them into the other products. So yeah, James, how are you doing, sir? Says shells come with replacement buttons. Yes, they do. Yep. So yeah, or I say that with such confidence. I'm pretty sure they do. I have not actually seen. I actually haven't got one in my hand to confirm, but I don't understand why they want it. So let me just say that. Okay. I kind of jumped in that too much confidence without reassurance on that one. So yeah, yep, I would expect them to for sure. Okay. So let's kind of go through these really quick. I just want to give you guys just a heads up of kind of what they all look like. All right. So first up is Chrysler. So this is the list of the SKUs came out. I just took this from their price guide just to kind of give you a heads up here. So you can see that there's the Fabic ones, PROX, and the remotes. Okay. So you can see all of those are pretty cool. And the remote head keys on that. So really going to cover the full spectrum on Chrysler. Next, I didn't change the name. These are Ford. So if you look at the Ford ones, right, we have some Ford flip keys, and you can see that there's like the 3-button or the 4-button, or there's the PROX keys or remote head keys and the keyless entries as well, which is pretty cool. Next up here, we got GM. So they got the GM flip keys. We were kind of talking about that a minute ago, as well as the remote keyless entries, the remotes, that sort of thing. And speaking of, I wonder, as I'm doing this, I'd be curious if any of you guys struggle at all with the terminology on that. I almost wonder if we should do, we're going to do we haven't done a trivia for a while, and I'm going to do an automotive keys trivia. I just got a good idea for one. Okay. Okay. So we see all those ones there. Then we look here at, I kind of combined them because there's not as many with the Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Nissan, and Subaru. Of course, we can see the remote head keys, Hyundai PROX, Nissan remote head keys, and Subaru as well. So really good assortment as far as that goes. And then last up here is going to be the Toyota. Okay, so now the red ones are ones that they actually had before that they've lowered the price on and actually made them like super competitive, which is cool. But so there's the Toyota as well. So I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty excited about that. Not only to have, I think there was 58 of them that we loaded into the system. So we'll be having all those in stock, but to be able to have a good variety of them that are going to be quality and then at the same time are competitively priced for me is a big win, and I'm sure for you as well, because we really want you to have a lot of margin when you're reselling those, right? So that is pretty cool, if you ask me. So that's what's going on as far as the shelves go. I cannot believe we're already 16 minutes into this. That's nuts. But, it's funny. Going back to when I was first doing these, 4 years ago? Yeah, 4 years ago. I was always like, man, what can I talk like? Am I going to be able to keep it going for 10 minutes, right? And lately we've been running an hour, which I need to get a little better at. But although I see some of you actually really like that, which is pretty cool. But so that's what's kind of coming out with those. I just want to take the opportunity to talk about those for a few minutes and let you know they are coming down the pipe. And so now that we've gotten that out of the way, oh my goodness, I got so distracted here. Of course, I got some topo here. Really inside here at the moment is some more Zip Fizz. And cheers to all you out there as well. Oh, I tell you what, that's good. Cheers to all out there drinking your favorite a topo or your favorite beverage of choice. So, man, I tell you what, I was just rambling on there without taking a sip. What in the world? What in the world? All right. So let's talk about identity, right? And James, a few of you had some good comments in here. Let me find a good one. Let's see here. Where's it at? Let's see here. Okay, here we go. James says, I don't see identity yet. See everyone at CLK in about 8 minutes. Please bring your own pitchforks if you have one. Bring an extra pitchfork to share if possible. Sharing is caring. I like it. Oh my gosh. Hey, fully deserve it. I'm telling you what. This is what I can tell you. I would have bet money that it was already out right now, Android at least, right? And so this is where we're really at. And the funny part is I had a meeting with the staff this morning talking about it. And I'm like, listen, I know I've already told this to you. This is me talking to the staff. I was like, I know I've already told this to you, but it could actually be available today. Or if not today, then tomorrow, and I've been saying that a lot, right? And hey, this is the deal, I've chose to be over transparent instead of under. I don't know, it's just usually better. You can get you in a little more trouble, maybe even too. Why not? But let's see. What's the best way I can describe it to you? I guess 4th of July it just didn't help, right? It just didn't help. Unfortunately, so we have 2 developers working on it. One of them is in Canada. And we made some good progress Friday. And he had a travel trip planned for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So we didn't really be able to get started on it again until yesterday. And man, I would have thought it was up yesterday. And if possible, it'll be up tonight, Android at least. So now that the 4th of July thing's over and past us and the weekend's passed, we got this full week here going on. I guess it's already Tuesday, but I did just see right before I hopped online, probably at about 3:26. It looks like the latest build was uploaded to the Play Store. So I'm really hoping that this is the deal, right? And like I said, I won't even put it on the developers. I'll put it on myself. And I may have talked about this before, but I'll just kind of reiterate the same story to kind of bring you to where we are today. Okay. So of course we have the private app, right? I have a Apple phone. And of course, on my app and the beta testers, they have the app, right? You can pull it up, super easy, no big deal. What we didn't know for the longest time, and there was a lot of debate internally, was what was going to be the charge? What would that look like? If we were going to have a charge, how much, all that kind of stuff. So when we started building the app, I just kind of took the, like, what, the cost or whatever that structure was. And I just kind of set it off to the side. I'm like, hey, by the time we get the app done, we'll know exactly what we want to do. And then that's what we'll do. Right. That was kind of that was my mindset. And that's what we did. What I did not know was, now, as a person who has, now I could have asked the developers, I did not. What I failed to ask and what I believed is that, like, the subscription part was actually just done on the actual Play Store or the App Store, right? But it's way more complicated than that, having it actually on the app. And so they're getting it done. We're right there at all of the subscribe stuff is done. All we're buttoning up is the unsubscribe, because, hey, if you end up not liking it and you want to unsubscribe, well, we want to have you be able to do that, right? I mean, that's how it works. But so that should be done at any time. And then if so, it should get out quick. So and to back up, and if any of you missed it last week, I was kind of talking about, we submitted the Apple, or the Android and the Apple at the same time. The Android responded first by like 3 days, 4 days, something like that. And so we took that feedback and we just started getting to work on it. And so the Android will go out before the iOS, but as soon as we get iOS out, maybe today or tomorrow, we're immediately going to switch over to iOS. And the good news is a bunch of this stuff for iOS is done because we had to do it for the Android. So that is the best. I mean, that's just the truth and where it's at. But I tell you what, and the worst part with all of this, like, for me, is I just want to get to the spot where identifying keys. Right? Let's get back to identifying keys, because that's what the app's about, and that's what we're going to be doing. So, so really quick, I'll just hit on it. I don't see it coming on it, but let's just talk about it for a minute. With the cost, like, why are we doing the subscription? It's going to be $1.99 a month. Now, I'm going to add, I do know for a fact now that we can add in a monthly plan. Okay. We're going to wait on the monthly plan. We're just going to go, or on the yearly plan. I know we can add one for sure now. But right now we're just going to launch with the monthly, because I don't want to, I don't want to add any delay to it, but we will be able to put that out there on the yearly as well. So it's $1.99 a month. And the question is, or I'm just forming the question. Let's get it out there. Let's talk about it one more time. Is, why are we charging for it? And, like, why isn't it free? And really, like, the most truth I can give you on this is that to run the app, of course, we're using artificial intelligence and a bunch of other stuff. It costs a decent amount of money to run the app. And so if someone were just to be able to download it for free and just, like, do dumb stuff and upload pictures that you, me, or your grandma shouldn't see, it's such a waste of resources on our end of our own company resources, that having a paywall there really helps protect our resources. I mean, that's just the truth. Okay. So but at the same time, we wanted to be low enough, $24 a year, whatever price of a key blank book, I think is very reasonable. So, that's kind of the scoop on that, and how we came to the conclusions. And with any luck, it'll be available soon. So I tell you what, I can promise you this: I want it out worse than you do. I'm just so excited, though, for everybody to use it and start identifying keys. We can get feedback and add it. Now, the one cool part is with it not having one out yet, one of the cool parts is that we're still adding keys like daily, essentially, right? So our commitment is our goal is at least 100 a month. So we've been working through that. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, I believe it is. Yeah, the 10th, I should be uploading another 100 keys in to get those in. So pretty exciting to do that. And we're going to keep just adding keys, making it better. And the cool part is, we see the beta testers. We had Adrian talk a little bit, last week about how his experience with it, as well as, just the feedback I can see on the back end, and it's working pretty gosh darn good, pretty happy about it. And let's see. So true, James. But yeah, so it's just one of those, yeah, so that's kind of where it's at. I tell you what, I want it out, right? I want it out. I can't wait for you guys to use it. And most importantly, the whole reason we built it is to be helpful. And so I can't wait to get through some of this other stuff. And hey, it's been a really good learning lesson for myself and a few of the staff members like Lily, who's been on board on the kind of development side as well. Being able to do all of that and learn, and like we've been able to learn a lot. And of course, we want you to all have the best user experience as possible. The one cool thing I am pretty happy about, and I hope you guys will be too, like we made sure with the servers and all that stuff that we're using that it's very high speed. And I think is what you'll find, at least from my own testing, and what I think is that it's really fast, which is really cool. So, and that was just, and for the most part, that was just a matter of putting the right resources behind it to get it to where it needs to be. There's nothing worse. And I'll stand by this. Even if we get it and you guys think it's slow, I want to make it faster, right? Because I cannot stand, it's kind of like slow internet. Who wants that around? Nobody, right? Fun fact, actually, when it comes to internet, we have 3 internets here in this building. So we have 3 different companies. We have internet here. We have fiber, we have cable, and we have T-Mobile 5G. We have all 3 in this building because, hey, we can't live without the internet. Between shipping and phones and the website, all that kind of stuff, like we have to have internet. So yeah, good stuff for everybody. So hey, I hope that helps. I hope that's the best. I hope all of you right now who are asking are on Android, so you'll get the app sooner. And it's funny, I've never understood up until this, like a company would like announce that they have a app, and then they're like, oh, it's available for Android or iOS. And then they're like, then if you have the opposite, you're like, hey, how long will it take to get the other one? And they're like, soon. I get it now. So yeah, pretty cool. Keith says, will it show the remote head key shells? That's a good question. Okay, so I would have to look in the database or ask Lily. Lily's been kind of quarterbacking some of this. So, okay. Right now, like if you were to take a picture of a H92, okay? If you were to take a picture of an H92 key, a transponder key, it would show you the shell. It would tell you the shell part number, okay? That's how we have it set up. I don't think we have the remote head keys loaded yet, but is what it will do, yes, is point to a shell as well. Mainly because, it'll point to a shell. So that's kind of our logic on that at the moment, but they are not loaded in there. So, I would have to try. Do I have one around here? I don't know. I'd have to try and see right now what it would do. Maybe like if it was a Chrysler key, I'd be like, man, maybe it would bring up a Y159 in one of the 5 results. I don't know. That's a great question. Keith, hopefully you'll be able to experiment yourself soon and provide us some feedback. But yeah, that is that. Curto Lock and Key says, I know someone with a few extra Y1 keys if you haven't uploaded into the system yet. You know, it's funny. I know someone who also has a bunch of Y1 keys as well. And I told you guys last week that I would give you an update on the how many Y1 keys we have in stock. For those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, we ended up getting, I think we had like 50,000 or so extra Y1 keys lying around that I've been trying to get everyone to buy. And I've been giving stock updates on how many we have in stock every week. So let me hop into the ERP here and search it. How many do we have? Where are you? Oh, here it is. Okay. We now have 35,627. So I think over the past week or so, we've sold what? 2,000-3,000 of them or so. Hey, you guys are doing great on buying those for sure. And yeah, that's good. Let's see. All right, we got some other questions here. Yeah, let's keep her going for a few minutes. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. FTRV Denny, hey, how are you doing this evening? Says, can the app decipher between easy key and say a KW1? Great question. Okay. How can I answer this? The best way I can answer this. So we have the easy key loaded into the system. We also have like a KW1 in this example. So an easy one is like the more thin version of the KW1. And so if you were to take a picture of the easy, like of an easy one key, it should pull up an easy one for sure. Or if you pull up one that looks like a quick set, there's probably a quick set. Now, how do I say this? Most likely in the 5 results, you're going to see you might see the easy one key or the KW1, right? So you could see both in the 5 results. Now, I want to kind of go back to the logic a little bit we used, because I think it's the best way for us to, for me to answer this, which is what we're trying to do is that when you take a photo of a key, okay, of each side, we're trying to match it to the closest key in our database, okay? Now, this is all a complicated algorithm. I'll share as much as I think I can on that, which is like, the head doesn't matter, but it matters. The blade doesn't matter, but it matters. And the color matters, but it doesn't matter. All of that is into the equation. And so they all have varying weights and importances in a lot of different ways, I guess you could say. And so, yeah, so we want to find you the closest key in the database of the one you took the picture of. So if you take a picture of a key that looks identical to a KW1, then we want to show you a KW1. If you take a picture that looks like an EZ1, okay, we want to show you that we think it's a EZ1. Right? Now, where does this get a little more complicated and fun? Honestly, this is the fun part for me of this, which is obviously if a key comes to you that looks just like a KW1, you don't need an app to identify it, right? And so although we've spent time on quick sets and schlags, that has never been our main motivation here, right? Like I want you to get some weird camper key or file cabinet key or automotive key, or, some key that you don't actually know what it is, or you don't recognize it and there's no part number on it. And so one of the best thing, or the biggest thing that we have done that I have spent the past, year and a half now doing, is finding the OEM type keys and taking images of all of those, right? Taking, like, getting the real work done to help you identify keys, right? Because no one needs to find needs help identifying a KW1 or when it says KW1 on it in particular, right? So yeah, so that's something that we've been working hard on, and I hope that kind of helps us with the logic, which is funny. Let's talk about this for a minute, if you don't mind me continuing to talk about it. But this logic was not the first logic I came up with. The first logic I came up with was, let's find every key that could possibly be a KW1, and when it identifies it, let's show a KW1. And that was the first logic we were going with. And as we started going through that, I was like, this doesn't actually make very much sense, because you just took a picture of a key and you want to know what that key actually is. And so let's show what the key actually, let's, in our database, what's the closest key we have to it. That's what's important, I think. So that's where we're at with that. Now, of course, where are we at on this? Let's talk about it. So I believe we have all the transponder keys, most, if not all, transponder keys uploaded. We do, I know of for sure of a couple of remote head keys, but we're not heavy in that, right? So right now, and as we go through those, I will let you know for sure. The biggest thing that we're up against here, okay, with all of you who are going to be using it, okay, so the biggest thing that we're up against is if the key is not in the database, then of course it's not going to tell you what it is, because the key has to be in the database. And so you could take a photo of a key and be like, oh, like this app doesn't know what it's talking about. It doesn't, the key's not in the, it's not showing me the right key. Well, I can tell you with great certainty, 99+% of the time, it's because the key is not in the database. Okay. And I know, we have around a couple thousand keys in the database right now. I think when we get to 3,000-4,000, it'll really be full encompassing, which we're working at constantly right now. But the best thing you can always do is say the key's not in the results and tell me as much as you can about the key, because I see that. I personally see that, and we'll work to try to figure that out. So that's something I'm going to be doing on my end for sure. So, but yeah, I think that's our biggest problem. I wish there was a way that we could communicate on the app to you that, hey, we don't see this key in the database, but it just doesn't work like that. So we just have to work through, get as many keys as we can added with your help and with your guidance. It's great. But I want to take the opportunity to talk about one thing real quick. What is really important on the app, okay, is that you take keys with the head on the top. Okay, so you don't want to take sideways keys. You don't want to take pictures of keys with the head on the bottom. You always want to take keys with the head on the top. Very important. As a matter of fact, you turn it upside down, it's not going to recognize it. On the side, not going to recognize it. So that's one thing keep in mind. Okay, one thing to keep in mind. Okay, a couple questions here. I like it. James asks, does it show us the confidence level of the identified key? Yes. So the results are going to be most confidence to least confidence. Okay. So the first result that pops up, that's going to be the most confidence. And then as you go through down to number 5, it's going to go to the least confidence. Now, something that is important to talk about with this too, George, thank you. Great question. Is that, like, let's say we have 2,000 keys in the database and we said, hey, give 2,000 results to every key searched. Okay. We could do that. Is what would happen, right? Is it would literally, from most confidence to least confidence, list every single key in the database. Okay. So we're just showing the 5. Right. The 5 is definitely where most of the results are. There's very few. So during our testing last year in 2023, we were showing, I think it was up to 15 results. Okay. In our internal testing that we were doing. And the reason is when if the technology, if identikey missed it as number 1 or number 5, let's say, was it in the string of results at all? That was important to us. And is what we ended up finding is every once in a blue moon, it would be like number 7 or 8, but almost always it was in the top 5, if not number 1 or number 2, right? The cool part is on the back end, I have the ability to correct it. Okay. So that's the cool part, is that as we work together and we get going on this and start getting all your images to us, or you start doing all your searches and all that, I have the ability to teach the AI on it. So, and I'm going to, and so is what's going to happen. I mean, I truly believe, within, I don't know, let's call it 6 months of both iOS and Android out, like we're going to get this thing humming. I mean, it's already good. Okay. It's already good, but I think where we're going to be in 6 months from now is going to be amazing. And then you add in the extra keys. I'm just really pumped for it. So, let's see here. George Blair, how is it going? Think you can tell the difference between a coplay and an SC1? Yes, actually. As a matter of fact, I don't know what the deal is, okay, George, but Identikey loves the coplay key. I'm telling you what. The coplay key, I think, is one of Identikey's favorite keys. I don't know if it has favorites, but if it did have favorites, it loves that key, the CPL1. The CPL1, there's so many keys. I've had to keep training it, actually, to be like, hey, how about not thinking every SC1 key is a CLP1, okay? So yeah, it definitely can, because it loves that key, right? Which is something, and I don't know if I've gone into this much. It might be fun to kind of bring it up as a show, doing a full show on it. But something really interesting is that as I've been going through this for the past year and a half, and you recognize the keys, and it starts recognizing the keys, you realize that there's a lot of keys out there that key-blank manufacturers like take the same keyway and just put a different shaped head on it and call it something different, right? Because let's say this vendor's using a Y11, but their OEM key head shape is like this, and so they do one similar to that. So that's something that, I mean, I knew existed, but really has caught me off guard as I start going through and looking at the results. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, it's the same key. But so that's something that cool Identikey's done a good job at. And by the way, as soon as we go live and everything's live, I have some really cool, fun examples of Identikey I'll be doing some videos on and really hitting it hard. So it'll be cool. All right, let's see the next one. James says, I got a camper key. It's on a CH751. That's weird enough for me. I don't know what it is. Very cool. Well, hopefully Identikey. We're pretty tight on the, so like I said, like when it comes to the SC1, KW1 type keys, like, do we have them loaded in the database? Absolutely. Have we tested them? Absolutely. But I have not spent a ton of time on them. Okay. I spent a lot of time on best keys. I've spent a lot of time on RV keys, camper keys, equipment keys, that sort of thing. I've really wanted to dial into the best of my ability. So, yeah. All right. Let's see here. NY Locksmith, how is it going? It says PJ or Lockboss PJ. Once we get the app, if we get a weird key, do you want us to send it to you? No. So, you could, but the better way is just to search it in Identikey. And when you don't get a result, click on the my key is not listed in the results button. Tell me as much info as you can about it, and I will get to see it. Okay. I will get to see it. So, if you do that and you show it to me and you go through the app process, I'll already have the images of the key, and I'll be able to hunt it down, maybe try to figure it out. So I'll be doing a lot of that. As a matter of fact, that's actually going to be my new hobby. Okay. That's going to be my new hobby, is going to be hunting down weird keys, mainly because I love it. I don't know why, but I love it. So, and like I said, and I'm dead serious about this. we want to have the most extensive, well-rounded key blank database on the planet, with identikey being the best technology out there to identify keys that you can trust. Okay, like that's what we're going for, and want to get going with it, right? Let's get this sucker out. Let's see here. You know what would be cool if it showed the HPC code card with the key info? Yeah. So Pitcherman, probably the best way for us to do that, okay, right? So if when you find the result you want, you hit the buy now button, okay, it's going to take you to that other little tab called CLK in the app, which is our website. And then from there, it's going to take you to that key blank listing. You can look at the 360 image and then all the data on it. And yeah, I could see us one day maybe add in the code cards to that data. Actually, on the app, probably not, at least anytime soon, but hey, we could change our mind. Let's see here. Philip Hart, how's it going? Says, can't wait to have access to the Key ID app and use it mostly for camper keys cabinet. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And that's what we're really trying to be hard in, right? So we really want to have that all as much data in there as humanly possible for you. So, and I've worked a lot on that. Camper keys, RV keys, UTV keys, been really trying to do that. Let's see here. Dayman O'War says PGA will merge with the Skynet AI and be the lock terminator. Let's see here. James says, remember when Daddy read bedtime stories to us rather than identity? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hey, little Lockboss, how are we doing? Says, best of my ability, pun intended. I like it. LOL PJ's middle hand will be on displays. Oh, that's funny. That's good. Locks NY, or excuse me, NY Locks, but fun hobby while you are golfing. I like it. No. If I could do both at the same time, man, it'd be the best thing on the planet. But the funny part is, okay, all my buddies are always razzing me because every time we're golfing and we're sitting in a golf cart, what am I doing? I am taking out that key and I'm taking photos and seeing if it's recognizing it properly in the database. Cool part is I actually had one, a golf cart recently over in Spokane, Washington, that I took the photos of, and it didn't give the right result. And I'm like offended, I'm like, what kind of nonsense is this? Who built this thing? What's going on? And then so I took a bunch of extra pictures, and I figured it out, and I corrected it. I tell you what, and I loved every second of it. And now every time I go to that golf course and I get into that golf cart and I grab that key, I'm like, you're mine. Watch this. And it pops up. So, yeah. So, yeah, you could ask my golfing buddies every time we're in a cart, man. They're like, dude, when are you going to stop? And I have a simple answer every time. Never. But, yeah. Let's see here. You should have the ability to identify keys by the picture of the keyway. Yeah, Newhouse, that's something maybe in the future we'll definitely look at. I mean, we definitely, to get this database built and to keep doing it and doing it at a high level, I mean, we're pretty kind of laser focused in on that. Nate says, how are you doing, by the way? Says, why are you out of best A keys? I know. You know what? I think we just got a few pallets in. Maybe are they back yet? I hope they are. They should be soon. Man, we stock a ton of those too, and to be out is painful. So, Nate, thanks for hanging in there with us. We should have hopefully a couple thousand in any time. As a matter of fact, hold on a second here. let's look at something here. While we're live on the internet, let me do this. I just sent an email out on that bad boy right there. Just right there. Boom. We have to get those things back in stock. I mean, we sell a lot of them. And, they're a very popular key. So hopefully we got them. So I'm sure Trina probably has an answer on that. But I'm on live and I can't do it. So I always send an email and see. But we need them. All right, let's keep going here for another minute and we'll peace out. Here we go. Another almost an hour. Again, you know what? Hey, we just have a good time hanging out. I once again want to say, hey, thank you to all you being here with me. Man, great community. And I have to sincerely tell you, you all are wonderful people, man. I tell you what, not only do you show up, but you're helpful and you're kind. And man, my staff talks so highly of you all when you call in and ask questions and place orders and that, and the support you give us. It's very humbling, honestly, for me. So I just want to say thank you so much for that. Let's see here. And so Nate, hopefully the answer is very soon. I noticed we were out also, and we need to get those darn keys back in stock, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not making money over here at CLK if we're not selling stuff. So being out of stock is not something we like. Next, try to make an AI golf app. Would it help my swing? Because I need some help. I was hoping to go to the range tonight. I don't know if I'll be able to. But I mean, I just want to. I need to get some work in on that swing. I tell you. Let's see here. Let's see. Newhouse says, I may have missed, but do we have a release date yet for the app? Yes, I've been talking about it. The short answer is Android. And I know I said this last week, but the Android app, I'm hoping will be out any day as soon as this afternoon, maybe. Like I said, about 3:36 or 3:26, one of the two. Right when I was getting ready for this, I noticed a new build just got uploaded to the Play Store internally for testing. So I'm guessing, I haven't talked to any of the developers, but I'm guessing one of them was testing. So maybe when I get off line here, there'll be some updates. Maybe not. I don't know. I have to just kind of let them do their job. So any minute now, as Nate says, any minute now. So I tell you what, I want it out so bad, right? So yeah, hopefully that one. And then as soon as we get done with the Android, we'll work on the iOS. So hopefully, I'm very optimistic. Okay, we've had our Identikey announcement video scheduled for this Sunday now for weeks at this point, I guess is the best way to say it. And I don't want to move it. Okay. But I mean, if we can make it happen, we'll make it happen. All right. Let's see here. Hey, David, how's it going? Thanks for being here. I'm a newbie here. What does the app cost? It'll be $1.99 a month. Oh, will be the cost of it. So about $24 a year. So hopefully that helps. Let's see here. Let's see. I think it's Leah. Say I say that. Hopefully I said it right. How are you? It says, do you think the app will fare up against Australian market? By the way, good day from down under. Hey, thank you. Just keep up the content. Happy to report how the app supports our automotive market in Australia. So, I mean, I'm guessing, I'm not too familiar with that market over there. I mean, I know some of the keys, I know we've had some customers over there for a while now. And I know, we obviously sell them some keys, so there'll probably be some crossover. It'll be interesting, really, to see what that looks like. I wish I had more certainty for you. Let's see here. Yeah, cool. All right, everybody. Well, hey, you know what? Once again, I'm sorry. I should have got to the winners first before we went on the long identity rabbit trail. Which, the one thing I have to say, something I am very excited about is, we're going to get this sucker live. We're going to, of course, I'm going to be here every Tuesday. We're still going to be putting out the videos, and I'm just excited to talk to you all about it and get live feedback, talk through it, give examples, continue to make it better, and hopefully make your job easier. So that's what we're going for here. And man, I'm just so excited about that for sure. But hey, so thanks for chatting about it. Let's go ahead really quick now, though. Hop in and let's announce this week's winners. And there's something that's very curious to me. Okay. I'm sitting over here, got all these hard questions coming at me. And I got spit somehow on the inside of my glasses there. I'm gonna have to go without those. Got all these hard questions coming at me. We have Julio completely silent. Not any music making fun of me, not hitting me with the drum rolls. I don't know. Julio maybe had a doctor's appointment, cut out early, striking, maybe took the whole, if you're not going to do the live show for me today, you're fired thing too serious. I don't know, but we haven't heard from Julio at all. And I really don't even know what to say about it. I mean, Julio's like absent today, took the day off. I don't know, maybe recovering from the 4th, maybe a little bit too much fireworks. I don't know. So I'll have to check, see what's going on with Julio because we don't have any sounds today. But all right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get to this week's winners and first talk about what to do if you win. You want to email us your shipping info to sales@CLKsupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win. Comment on our videos with the hashtag Lockboss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. No purchase necessary. All right. Well, with that being said, here we go. Even though we don't have any music, winner number 1 is Polly Edwin 6056. Congratulations. Winner number 2 is Bob Van. Bob Van, congratulations. Winner number 3 is Strong Tower Lock and Key. Congratulations. Winner number 4 is, I think it's FL Locksmith. Congratulations. And last but not least, winner number 5 this week is Stephen Phillips, 8155. Good stuff, everybody. Congrats to our 5 lucky winners this week. Of course, like so many of you know, we have the Lockboss Patriotic Tee with free with orders over $434.34. And of course, you can purchase it separately, but hey, it's more fun to get it for free. So so there we go, everybody. That's the show today. The interesting part is no Julio. Julio, if you're out there, I mean, I don't know if you're striking or I don't know, you're driving to the border to run away from having to ever come on live again. I don't know what the deal is, but can you give us at least a little bit of drums or something? Come on. Okay. Julio's still with us. Julio, next time, I mean, probably the best way to make everybody happy is to be hitting that music all day. Okay. And by the way, bring us a new tune next week. All right. Let's get a new tune. But, all right, everybody. Well, hey, I tell you what, thank you all for being here. Thank you for hanging out. And I hope you all have a wonderful and safe Tuesday evening. Keep doing that good work out there. Keep helping people with their lock and key needs. And we'll be back same time, same place next Tuesday. Fingers crossed in the next short time, Identikey Android will be out. And all right, everybody. Julio, if you wouldn't mind, put a little music on, and we'll see y'all next week. Take care. Bye.